Welcome to Upwork, the place where freelancing possibilities are endless. Connect with skilled professionals and top clients collaborating and innovating across the globe. Upwork is one of the largest freelance platforms that provides thousands of new projects for people with different skills every day, from digital and art to HR and consulting. You decide what job to do. You choose projects relevant to your skills and start offering your expertise to customers. My name is Anton Voronjuk, and I'm the Chief Executive Officer of the Skills Booster Academy and co-owner of Web Promo Marketing Agency. Welcome to the first lesson of the Upwork course. I'm also excited to introduce you to my friend Alexey Serhienko, who is the content creator of this course. Alexey is the owner of the digital agency KPD Media. Nearly 2 years ago, he and his team started their journey on Upwork from scratch. Since then, they've completed over 100 projects on this platform and now thrive on the projects they receive through Upwork. Alexey put all this experience in one place, and I share this knowledge with you in this course. This course will be handy for everyone who wants to monetize their skills but doesn't know where to begin. If you are someone who has a job and wants to support yourself with side projects or change the workspace, you are in the right place. By the way, freelancers who worked with other platforms previously and want to switch to Upwork will also find this course helpful. Even businesses that provide digital service are searching for new ways to get conversions. They can see how Upwork can help them by taking this course. We will learn how to analyze competitors, demand, and existing offers on Upwork with built-in instruments. With that, you will understand what projects match your skills and how often they appear on Upwork. Having reviewed what people with similar skills look like, you will get background information on how to build your profile to stand out among them. After that, there will be some important information on how you can optimize the profile to be attractive to Upwork algorithm. This equips you with increased profile visibility in search results and recommendations. We will also talk about specializations and how they impact your Upwork. Furthermore, I will share tips and life hacks on how to make your profile candid to clients' eyes. And most interestingly, we will explore Upwork not only from the freelancer side, but also see how it appears for clients. This helps you better understand the customer's thoughts when they come on Upwork. I also share how to search for relevant projects and many other things that will assist you in starting your Upwork journey. This course is your chance to not only be effectively involved in Upwork, but also get expertise from two industry experts and their teams. Mine as the Udemy instructor partner and Skills Booster Academy, whose Udemy courses have more than 500,000 students around the world. We know how to teach students for better results and support them during all courses. At the same time, you will receive hands-on experience and relevant knowledge from Alexey and his KPD Media agency, who implements and uses Upwork for their business right now. This is a practical course. From the first lectures, we will dive deep into Upwork and observe how all these things work. Moreover, there are a lot of additional materials and links you can watch to boost your knowledge. As a reminder of the road you will go through during this course, you will receive a certificate from Udemy. This paper shows you are good at using this new way of doing things. You can put in on your CV or LinkedIn to show your new expertise. Before we continue, thanks for choosing our course. We hope you enjoy this journey and we'll be glad to hear your feedback about it. Your thoughts are really important to us. It helps us make things even better. Also follow us on social media to stay updated with our latest news. We are excited to have you join our great community. Ready to start your freelance career on Upwork? Discover inside strategies, expert tips, and proven techniques to skyrocket your success on the world's largest freelance platform. Enroll now and pave the way for brighter freelance future on Upwork. This section will be your introduction to Upwork. We will start by researching competitors, existing clients' offers, and a catalog with a fixed price from freelancers. All the information you collect will help you design your profile to look appealing to Upwork and potential clients. Are you ready to empower your Upwork? If so, let's move on to the lecture. I'm glad to see you on the Upwork platform. I'm sure you do something well, or what's more, you are a genuine specialist in your area. Upwork is a great place for growth and compensation for your expertise. But before you start, it's important to understand whether this platform is relevant for your skills. So, in this lecture, I will show how to figure out whether people are interested in your services. In order to do so, you should consider that the jobs catalog includes projects you want to work on. To start with the job catalog, go to the Upwork site. I use the existing Upwork profile in this lecture, but you can also do such research without signing up. It shows the same information, but the interface might be a bit different. After that, move on to the search field. Among the list of options to look for, choose Jobs and click on the search icon. A new window will open and you will see plenty of options which are helpful in finding the best for your needs. Let's start your search with filtration using the most relevant categories. By going to categories, you'll see a lot of options. It helps to find 2 or more variants for almost every profession. For example, let's select the design and creative category. When the results are extracted, explore the first 2 to 3 pages. Open every project you consider to be interesting. Imagine that you would like to see more information about this project. Just click on it and a detailed description will open. Read all the information shown here, but pay particular attention to 2 parameters. Number 1. Specialization. I want you to understand that this isn't the same as a category we have chosen previously. To help you find out what each means, I have put the link with its description under the lesson. Number 2. A list of skills that the client considers important for completing this project. I advise you to put this data in a separate table. This doesn't require much time to do, but it helps you optimize your profile and make it the most relevant for projects you would like to get. I've added this template to the additional materials, so you can use it for yourself. Now, take a look at another case. Sometimes choosing categories can be too general and include a lot of irrelevant projects. But don't worry, you can clarify your request using keywords. It can be the definition of a certain favor. For example, let's type logo design in the search field. Now you see all the projects where this task is mentioned. If you are skilled with a certain tool and would like to apply it to your projects, you can write it as a keyword. Near logo design, let's add the name of the tool for creating designs, Figma. By doing so, you will get a result that is related to logo design and Figma. However, you can also delete the logo and leave only the tool. If you would like to make the request closer to your needs, you can also add the niche or project type to work on. You can add it together with other keywords or go separately. Let's try to delete the previous keywords and type SaaS to find software-related projects. Now you have a list of these results in niche. The next actions are the same as those we talked about in categories. Explore the first 2 or 3 pages. Read details about the desired projects and write in the table of specializations and skills shown there. I also recommend you pay attention to Upwork tips when you add your keywords. There might be some really relevant and often used keywords that you haven't thought of before. Upwork is the global platform for the job market, so nothing special if you are searching for projects with keywords and categories. You get a huge number of results. This number continues to grow with hundreds and thousands of new projects added from customers every day. You might also notice that every project has plenty of offers from performers. Sometimes this number is over 50. No worries, it's possible to be diligent even in such an environment, but it requires a better understanding of our competitors. An analysis of the talents catalog can assist you here. To start, go to the Upwork site. I'm using an existing account to show you how it works, but you can also continue without signing in. All the main features will be available, but the interface might differ from what is shown on the screen. Then, from the drop-down menu near the search field, choose Talent. Near that, add keywords such as the name of service, technology, tool, or other keywords you would like to encourage clients to use to find you as a specialist. For example, let's type graphic design. After getting the results, you might see that Upwork doesn't show the number of performers for your request, but it can be hundreds of pages from different freelancers around the world. They will significantly vary from each other according to the number of completed projects, profile description, and portfolio. The hourly rate will also differentiate from $5 to $150. At this stage, you might again feel disappointed and think about running away from this platform. I know it looks bad the first time, but don't hurry to leave. What if I say that not all of these specialists are your competitors? Yes, also Upwork shows these performers in the search results with the same keywords. Not everyone will be your competitor. Let me explain. First of all, not all customers would like to work at the lowest rates. Some of them wouldn't even look at offers from freelancers with an hourly rate of less than $25, because such a price is not compatible with quality work for them. Secondly, you should understand that choosing the right freelancer is a huge stress for their client, or, as in the case of urgent deadlines, even a financial risk. To cut down on these factors, customers would prefer executors with a similar mentality and time zone, as well as a good level of English or certain other languages. Now you might be interested in how to identify people with whom you rival above all else. My answer is short. Just use the talent catalog filters. Let's see how they can help you. First of all, add the location filter. Type your exact location here and you'll see how your results change. I will type Ukraine to show you how it might look. Instead of a huge variety of specialists from around the world, only Ukrainians are shown. Next, if you work as an independent freelancer, select the Freelancers option in the Talent Type filter. After that, add additional skills that fit you exactly. For example, graphic designers might have a variety of different competencies, and you don't necessarily need to specialize in all of them at the same time to work in this area. Finally, use an hourly rate filter and unselect a few of the lowest and highest. Remember, not to try to rival using the lowest price, as you will only expand the number of competitors or sometimes even cut down on the number of projects to work on. The rest of the filters are not so crucial, but you can check them out if you would like to. After setting up these parameters, check for as many relevant keywords and phrases that describe your services as possible. It will be more efficient to save some information rather than just watch the search results, as it also helps you better understand your competitors and design the profile to be more attractive. I recommend you use a sheet to write down all the details. Under the lecture, I have added a ready-made template to assist you in speeding up this process. Visit the profiles that appear in your search results and pay attention to what the specialist wrote, how the text is structured, whether there are any emojis, what elements are underlined, etc. I also advise you to write in the table such information as the specialization that performers use, their titles, their hourly rates, and their key skills. Don't forget to check on how each portfolio is designed and what additional information is shown, such as education, certificates, work experience, etc. Now you know about the jobs and talents catalogs as well as how to use them for your benefit. But wait, there is more. Upwork has a third type of catalog, which is called the Projects Catalog. This is a list of offers from freelancers with a fixed price. If you have worked with other freelance platforms, such as Fiverr, you might know about the format where freelancers share their projects, known as gigs, at a fixed price. It is actually the same. In my experience, people order freelancers' services with this catalog on Upwork only in certain areas. Yes, despite the huge variety of offers with fixed price, customers prefer the usual ones. By the way, I advise you to analyze this catalog by typing your keywords and phrases into the search box, as we have done for the job and talents catalogs. Perhaps your specialization has a lot of tasks that clients would like to order, or even if not, this analysis helps you understand fixed prices for similar jobs. To do this, let's go back to the drop-down menu near the search field and choose the project option. No matter whether or not you log in, everything looks the same. In a new window, you can find a lot of categories and subcategories to choose from. As we did with other catalogs, it's also possible to write any keywords you need. For example, let's type logo design. Once it's ready, you will see a lot of announcements related to your request. Open any that you consider interesting to you. Pay attention to their descriptions and payment solutions. There will be a typical description of this service and examples of pricing you can use. Usually this catalog suggests small favors with prices up to $200. Most projects you find will be possible to describe clearly and complete in a short period of time. If you find plenty of offers for your specialization and they seem to be ordered often, I advise you to try similar services for yourself. To ensure an approximate amount of orders for each project, you can check its review number, but make sure you are looking for project review and not freelancer ones. An Upwork job is your own small business, like a startup. So as with any businesses, starting out and achieving results both follow a simple rule. You need to analyze the existing proposal and make them better, if possible. Previously, we explored competitors and demand, so in this section, we will talk about how to fill in and optimize your profile to make it more attractive for potential clients and Upwork algorithms. Your profile appears as a showcase for Upwork to recommend you to potential clients, as well as for customers to choose you among others. To do so, Upwork uses algorithms to understand when it is best to suggest you. It processes the information you provide about yourself, which means you can manage the frequency with which your profile appears to relevant clients. I will share some tips on how you can do this. First of all, optimize your profile for certain search requests. The idea of this process is very similar to how you optimize a website for search algorithms. You need to add relevant keywords as often as possible. This means that all fields of your Upwork profile must be filled in, but pay special attention to filling in the title, description, work history, portfolio, and skills. I strongly recommend you include in the title your main specialization, skills, technology, and niche. Project names in your work history are also really important for Upwork algorithms because they refer to proof of your expertise in such tasks. So if you have such an opportunity, ask your customer to use the keywords you need in the name of the project you work on. It's easy to add it from their side until the moment they send the final offer. Continuing to fill in the information, go back to the table on which you worked during the analysis of existing projects and competitor profiles. There you have written the information about key skills. Take 15 of the most popular ones and add them to your skills section and work description in your portfolio. Don't omit the less important fields of your profile. Employment history, other experiences, and other additional sections are also worth filling in with keywords you need. But remember that keywords must be written in a natural way. Their use should be organic and relevant to your profile content, as well as to other projects you work with. After that, move on to the optimization of your profile for project technical requirements. In the previous lectures, when we worked with the jobs catalog, I asked you to save two parameters separately: specialization and key skills that customer considers necessary for completing the order. We have already indicated 15 of the most used skills in our profile, and in the next lecture, we will analyze specializations in details. In the previous lecture, we discussed how to fill in your general profile. By the way, you can have two additional profiles that specialize in certain areas. Why is it important to do it? In some general professions, it is easy to find many different specialists who perform various tasks. For example, the term designer can encompass a graphic designer who works with printed materials, an illustrator who creates illustrations, a web designer who deals with website design, and so on. Upwork understands this diversity and strives to help clients find suitable experts and help freelancers find projects that best match their skills. These individual specializations have completed additional profiles with their own titles, descriptions, and even hourly rates. You will have the opportunity to choose from specific profiles to respond to for a particular project. For Upwork, it is important to have a match between their specialization indicated by the client and those you specify in your proposal. Which specialization should you choose for yourself? The ones that are most commonly encountered in projects suitable for you. In the preparatory lecture, we discussed how to find suitable projects, and we even saved such specializations in a table. What should you do if clients post projects specifying different specializations? Choose the two most commonly used ones, and that will be enough to match in most cases. For those projects where the clients made a mistake and indicated an incorrect specialization that doesn't suit you, there is nothing to worry about. Send your proposal for such projects as well. One of your main tasks is to make the customer stop on your page even for a while. You can achieve this by designing your profile to be more visually attractive. In this lecture, I will show you a few ways to do this. First of all, set up your avatar. The profile photo is the first graphic element that the client sees among the offers for their project. There is a simple rule: a good photo doesn't guarantee that you will be chosen as a performer for the project, but a bad photo guarantees that your offer won't even be opened. Upwork has some requirements for the photos you use. Above all else, it has to be your photo and only yours. Forget about kittens, puppies, and random stock photos. You will be asked to go through a verification process with a camera, and if there is no match with your profile photo, your account might be banned. For Upwork, it is crucial to clearly understand how you look. That means it's better to forget about group photos. Next, pay attention to producing a professional photo with a plain background. Complex elements around you might distract Upwork as well as clients. It is also important to show a smiling face without things covering you, such as sunglasses, hats, etc. Finally, Upwork doesn't allow you to improve your photo with graphic editors. This means that significant changes, such as adding logos or transforming the photo into an illustration, are forbidden. That being said, a small color correction or adding a contrast is considered okay for Upwork, so users can actively apply such adjustments. The next thing to look for is your profile description. In comparison to Upwork algorithm, where only the number of keywords in the profile description matters, a real person will read its content to better understand whether you are suitable for doing the task. I have some advice on how you can better design your overview. Number 1. Pay special attention to the first 150 to 200 characters of your description. That's how much Upwork displays in the search results of the freelancer catalog. The next border to look for is the first 500 characters that will be available for preview when customers open your profile in the search results. Number 2. Remember that the first 150 to 200 characters are precious few, so don't waste them on. My name is, I have more than 10 years of experience. Number 3. Share your experience and skills. Number 4. If you have a constant workflow of work in process, don't hesitate to share information about it. Number 5. Don't forget about calls to action. Your profile description has to finish with a certain call to action: text me, press the hire button, let's plan a call, and so on. Number 6. Structure and format your profile description. Use lists, paragraphs, backgrounds, and emojis to focus the customer's attention on something you consider important. The next way to improve attractiveness is to work with additional sections. Discussing your profile from the perspective of the Upwork algorithm, we mentioned that adding keywords to the employment history and other experiences sections does matter. From the client's point of view, these sections should confirm what you have written in your profile description. If you stated that you have over 10 years of work experience, there should be references to the places or projects where you have worked. If you describe yourself as a skilled specialist in a particular field, it is desirable to have certificates that confirm it, and so on. In this video, we will talk about how to create a comprehensive title and profile description. They have a complicated mission. They need to be attractive both for customers and algorithms. Let's get started with the title. The biggest mistake freelancers make here is to using too broad titles. Your title should be tightly related to your expertise and what you want to use on Upwork. For example, if you are a marketer but want to provide only email services, write email marketer. If you are setting up as both on Google Ads and Facebook Ads, write both of them. For instance, paid advertising lines include Google and Facebook Ads. Remember that these should be short and include keywords to give people the ability to find your profile through an Upwork search. If you have enough time, I also recommend you think about how you can make the title look creative. I know the title, Hire a Copywriting Specialist. This was a simple but really brilliant solution. Think about how you can differ from your competitors. Now let's discuss how to make a profile description. You already know that it's important to input in the text keywords related to your service, and the first few sentences do matter because they appear as previews if the client doesn't open the whole page. The main things you should master in your descriptions are client centricity, originality, and creativity. You can achieve it through different structures, but we recommended including these 4 parts. Number 1. Grabbing attention. There is a paragraph from 1 or 2 sentences that makes you look different from your competitors, but might be pricey to the clients. Number 2. Achievement. What you have already done in this niche shows your expertise. Maybe your email campaigns increase business sales by 10%, or you have worked with niche leaders. Maybe you facilitate the conference in this niche, etc. Number 3. Skills. There are 1 or a few paragraphs to express your unique skills that will be useful to your clients as a professional and straightforward manner. Clearly describe what can do for your client with such skills. The final part is the call to action. There are a few sentences that help to understand your availability and encourage the clients to work with you. Make sure that your description includes the desired type of work and industry, your years of experience, your software proficiency, and the languages you speak. And remember, to proofread your title and description to avoid spelling or grammar mistakes. It will impact your authority in the eyes of the customer according to Upwork algorithm. That's it for now. In the next videos, we will discuss portfolios and other things that help you enhance your Upwork profile. See you next. Upwork doesn't have the best portfolio sharing solution. If you shared a direct link, everyone has felt frustrated looking at the slowly loading project pop-ups at least once. It makes a portfolio a not so popular option for self-presentation among users. But I strongly recommend you fill in and from time to time update this section. In this lecture, I will share some key moments that can assist you with it. Let's talk about adding the portfolio section for the first time. Old cases will serve as proof of your expertise when you don't have any completed projects on Upwork. Thus, it will be beneficial to design no less than 5 cases to help them appear in the scrolling view. Pay attention to how your cases look. You need to not only add a poorly understood picture or a text-crowded PDF, but also tell the story for your potential customer. Include information about what the tasks were, the challenges confronted, and how you solved these issues. Don't forget to put the cherry on by showing the results you achieved. Once the client feels that this story is similar to their own, they will be motivated to send you the offer. Also, you will have a lot of cases. Make sure to put more effort into the first one. It's also incredibly important to add a good quality preview picture because this will appear in the search results of the talent catalog. It could either work to your advantage or keep everyone away from you. I have a life hack for you on how to make this preview more beneficial for your own promotion. Just add video instead of a picture, and people can check it out directly in the search results. Later, when you start completing orders with Upwork, previous cases might have less influence on customers. The priority will be getting Upwork clients' feedback, their marks, and their project's budgets. But even in this case, a portfolio can assist you in making your profile more visually attractive. Upwork has an incredibly awesome feature that people don't use, an opportunity to connect the feedback with a certain case in the portfolio. Moreover, adding cases to your portfolio encourages you to choose existing feedback or a project to connect with. After that, Upwork will send the notification to your client and they will have 3 days to confirm or reject your request. If there is no reaction from the customer during this time, Upwork approves their request automatically. This is particularly convenient if you closed the project a long time ago and don't want to disturb the people who need to give you a reaction. In doing all this, don't forget to add skills and keywords to the names and descriptions of the projects in your portfolio. In this lecture, I will show a few additional ways to make your profile attractive and give the client a variety of options through which to collaborate with you. The first way is to create your video presentation. Upwork gives you the opportunity to upload your video presentation to your profile. It helps you convince the client that your avatar is real, share language knowledge, present the way you are working, and emphasize important things if needed. If you don't have such a video and wish to create one, that's okay. You can just upload the video with a show reel of completed projects of the process of working, etc. It also works well and can stimulate the customer to continue working with you. Another direction you can go is to create your favors at a fixed price. We have already discussed the project's catalog when analyzing existing offers. The services offered in this catalog are the best indicators of how much clients are willing to pay for small one-time projects. Of course, this format may not be suitable for all professions, and even in cases where there are offers from freelancers, clients are not always interested. However, if you have standardized services that you want to sell at a fixed price, I highly recommend you list them in the project catalog. At the very least, it provides another option for a visually appealing presentation of your services to clients. Who knows, maybe the description of one of your typical services will convince the client of your expertise. I would recommend you pay attention to certain kinds of services in the project catalog, such as Consultation. The section with this service will appear as an eye-catching call to action immediately after the first 500 characters of your profile description. Similar to other services with fixed price from the project's catalog, the Consultation format is also not the most popular among customers. By the way, this format might be the best way to sell your specialization. To better understand your customers, you need to understand their way of thinking during the publication of a project. To think of yourself as a client, you need to begin as a client. So in this section, we will explore the secret stage that most of your competitors have never known about. We will create our own project. This helps us better understand what the customer goes through. What fields should they fill in? How does Upwork assist them with it? We will also see how Upwork will show proposals from other freelancers to better understand the rankings algorithms. You will literally spy on your competitors and familiarize yourself with the proposals they usually send for similar projects. Let's go to the first lecture. Upwork understands that you might need to use the platform in different roles, as a freelancer, agency, or client. Today, you are searching for a job as a freelancer. Tomorrow, you will need a specialist who takes on a specific part of your project or as a new employee in your agency. To help users, Upwork has created an instrument that allows them to easily switch roles. How can you do so? To create a customer profile, if you have a freelancer's one, you need to click on your avatar icon and go to Settings. Now you will see a Contact Info section. Scroll down a bit and you will see the additional accounts fields. Once you are there, select the New Client Account button. In a new window, type the company name you present and click Create Client Account. Now the client account is ready. You can switch between different roles at any time by clicking on the profile icon. A drop-down menu will appear and it's easy to choose any account if and when it's needed. Once you have started with a client account, make sure to explore the basic recommendations on how to create a new project. Now you can see a screenshot of what some of them look like. I will add the link under the lecture, where you can check all of them for yourself. Now let's create your first project. It could be possible to join if you go there as a freelancer. By the way, it is important to remember that we are making our own project for research purposes. That means its closure is mandatory because freelancers will only get connects back in this way if they happen to have wasted them on your fake project. To do this, go to your newly created client profile. The first thing that appears is the creation of the project. Let's start with step 1, which asks you to create the title. You can create a credible name or copy suitable parts from other clients' projects. Try different options and pay attention to Upwork hints. For example, now I want to have an email design template. Once I type this, Upwork puts my project into the email marketing niche. However, if I change the title to Email Template Designer, we see that Upwork will add the project in the graphic design area. Looks pretty confusing, I know. But now you understand why customers sometimes make mistakes with the specialization of their projects and what specializations you need to include in your freelancer's profile. Now let's use our second title example and move to the next step by clicking Next Skills. Use the skills that you listed in the first section to complete this step, but also check the recommendations from Upwork to complete this step. In our case, it might be email design email template development, graphic design, and so on. After that, estimate the scope of your work. It might be large, medium, or small depending on the number and importance of the tasks. As we want to have only one email template, let's choose the small one and go to the next point. It asks about the duration of the projects. As this task is a short-term one, I will select less than 1 month. Now you should identify the expert level you are looking for. I will press intermediate and clarify that it is not a full-time job. Now we are ready to go to the next step. Just click the button below and a new page opens. At this stage, we need to add the budget. Let's choose an hourly rate and see what price options Upwork suggests for this project. For me, it works good, so I move on to the next step without editing. However, if you feel like these options are not suitable, you can edit them as well. This is a good chance to increase your own rate if you have set it lower than Upwork's recommended minimum for the client. For the last step, add a description for your project. I entered the one I created previously, but you can write anything you would like or copy from other projects. Now that all steps have been completed, click Review Job Post. You'll see a preview of your projects with the possibility to edit any fields before publishing. At this stage, it's also possible to set up screening questions and additional preferences, if there are any. I advise choosing such general questions to better understand how other freelancers answer them. For example, let's select the checkbox near Describe your recent experience with similar projects. Now everything is ready, so you can click Post this job. Once you have created your first project, you will see a working dashboard. You as well as your clients usually have a list of published projects and drafts here. When you publish the project, Upwork will suggest sending invitations to the candidates which are most relevant in its opinion. We as freelancers are interested in knowing why Upwork considers these candidates better than others. Even though we published our project from a brand new client account with no previous hiring history and without verified payment verification, the first proposals will appear within a few minutes. After a few hours, there will be more than 20, possibly even 50, depending on the section in which you published your project and the specified budget. Take a look at each of the proposals you receive. Pay attention to how the first 150 to 200 characters are presented and whether they capture your attention. If so, what specifically caught your attention? Take a look at the structure of their cover letters. Explore how they present their portfolios and which of these methods is most convenient for you. Follow a link or download a PDF. It will also be beneficial for you to check on how they respond to additional questions. Then analyze the profiles of the freelancers that you like the most. Start saving specific techniques and phrases that you like. Greetings, descriptions of similar experience, calls to actions, etc. However, always make sure to close your project after analyzing the responses, so that all connects spent by the freelancers will be returned. Before we get to the new material, let's briefly review what we talked about in previous section. You learned how to check the Upwork demand for your service, analyze competitors, optimize your profile to make it suitable for clients and the Upwork ranking algorithm, and create your own project to look for competitors and better understand potential customers. Now, let's get to the most interesting part. In this section, we discuss how to separate the best projects in the search results. You will learn how a project's filtering differs when you are an Upwork beginner or an experienced performer. I also show you the main criteria to take a look at when you validate filtrated projects and clients. Let's start. The main thing you need to understand about Upwork is that it is the biggest platform for job and performer search. That means there is nothing special in seeing an uncountable amount of projects in almost all digital niches. Thus, your number one task when you begin applying for a job is to separate all irrelevant proposals. Upwork has a lot of different filters that can make this easy. Let's go through all the basic filters to see the principles of their work and how they can assist you in finding suitable projects. To do this, let's go back to the Freelancers profile and move on to the search field. As we did previously, choose jobs from the drop-down menu and click search. Now the search results appear, so we can start adding our filters. The first basic adjustment we make is to use the category filter as we did it in order to see demand in our first lectures. For example, let's choose branding and logo design, and you will see how the number of projects decreases significantly. However, always remember that similar projects can have different categories, so don't hesitate to experiment with choosing various ones. I advise you not to use a lot of categories in one filter. It will be more beneficial to make a lot of different filters with each category separate. In Upwork, you have the opportunity to save each filter and thus comfortably switch between projects from different categories. Later, I will show you how to do so. The next thing you can set up is the experience level. No one from the client will agree to task being performed by a beginner. Despite the simplicity of the task, customers don't like to think about going through this process again because the freelancer is not experienced enough. One explanation of this phenomenon is that the customers on entry-level projects are not ready to pay competitive prices on the market. It also means that the compensation of your job will be less than what freelancers usually get on such projects. So let's choose only the intermediate and expert levels. Now let's move on to the job type filter. This allows you to choose an hourly rate or a fixed price and add a money range to work with. Setting up this adjustment depends on your work experience, whether you are a beginner or an expert performer. We'll talk about it more in our next lecture, but for now I advise you to adhere to two simple rules. Number one, no dumping. From the previous lectures, you might remember that dumping or choosing a price that's too low for your service only increases the number of competitors and cuts down on the number of customers. Number two, begin with tough price filters, choosing the most suitable sum for you or even a bit more. Make this range wider step by step, if there aren't enough projects with the desired compensation. For example, let's choose an hourly rate of $40 to $70 to see the number of proposals. The next filters I won't show are the number of proposals, client info, and client history. Despite the level of competition, in your niche, fresh projects can get more than 20 proposals in the first half hour after publication. So using the filter number of proposals only makes sense if you are constantly monitoring the project and ready to answer immediately. Let's keep this parameter for now. Moving on to my previous clients, I want to say that this adjustment will be more and more beneficial as the number of completed projects grows. I advise you to save the filter with these parameters separately from others, so you have the opportunity to see new projects from previous customers immediately. Sometimes there might be a situation where you collaborated a long time ago. A customer has changed the person responsible for working with freelancers, or a client might order another service from you and not know you can complete their current task. So they might publish a new project instead of coming back to you as a known performer. So I'm not setting up this point at this moment, but you can go back to that after getting your first clients. Or you can use it if you have already performed on Upwork before watching this course. At the same time, such adjustments as payment verified and client history will be your best assistance at the beginning of your career, as unverified bank data or no hiring experience tells us that the customer hasn't worked with freelancers previously yet. In this situation, when you are both are newcomers, on Upwork there is a high probability that something will go wrong. So I will add payment verified and hiring experience options to our filtration. Scrolling down, you can find plenty of other filters that can assist you as a beginner. For example, there is a client location filter. Why it's so beneficial? Upwork is a global platform, and I recommend using this advantage to find clients from countries that pay more than your mother country. But at the same time, being a beginner on Upwork, you can collaborate with local clients and emphasize that you speak the same language, understand their mentality, and can work concurrently. This gives you an advantage in terms of getting the client compared to other freelancers. Time zones filters can make your collaboration competitive as well. Even if you want to work with different countries, you can select the same time zone. This gives you a small advantage as you are available to react immediately to clients' requests and provide results during working hours. The last basic settings we will talk about are project lengths, hours per week, and connects needed. The information about the project is always filled in by customers, but that does not mean it has been done so correctly. People tend not to know how much time is required for completing their orders. So I advise you to skip project lengths and hours per week in general when you work with filtration. Talking about connects needed, adding this filter is up to your situation. If you don't have enough connects and want to send more offers, why not? But remember, that quality is always more important than number. As you might guess, applying any filters cuts down on your project choice. So I want to encourage you to not use all the adjustments at once, because you risk finding nothing. Choose the most important criteria for you and add them step by step until you see the convenient number of projects to work with. Don't be afraid to experiment with filters and find your perfect solutions in searching for projects. You might remember that projects with similar tasks might be published in different categories and specializations. So, the best idea to avoid missing out on important projects is to search for them through keywords or phrases. Type in the name of your service tools or technologies in the search. You can find a huge variety of projects from different categories. At the same time, basic filters help you to discard irrelevant projects. However, Upwork has a more professional instrument in the form of advanced search. It helps you filter your search results more precisely when looking for a certain phrase or keyword in a title to find projects with certain skills you need, and so on. To do this, click on Jobs from the drop-down menu and start searching as we did previously. But this time, after appearing on a new page, don't add any filter or keywords. Just click on the Advanced Search button under the search field. In a new window, let's fill in all the conditions we need. For example, in the All of these words field, type logo. This means that every result will include this word. Below, in the Any of these words section, let's type, for example, Adobe Illustrator and Figma. This means that every result will contain one of those words, or both of them. Next, imagine that I don't know how to use Photoshop, so I type this word to exclude it. That's it. Let's click Search. Now you see the results which contain a logo, Figma or Illustrator and don't include Photoshop. Really fast and convenient. However, it still might not show the projects you are looking for. In this case, try to change the conditions and add basic filters. It is impossible to create one-size filters that completely covers your needs. However, creating new filters every time you look for relevant projects is also frustrating. The perfect solution to automate these processes is to save search requests. To do this, click the Save Search button, create its name, and press Save one more time. After that, your search will appear on your dashboard. My congratulations! Now, instead of hundreds of thousands of projects available on Upwork with filtration, you will only see the relevant ones. Once you grow as an Upwork specialist, you can change the filtration of the projects to work with. In this lecture, I will share a few pieces of advice that can help with different stages of your Upwork career. You have just registered on Upwork and are actively sending you offers, but you are getting no answers. Let's set up basic filters to increase your chances of getting the first project. The most frustrating thing you will have to face is being seen as a beginner in your client's eyes, especially if you haven't completed any orders on Upwork yet. You'll face this challenge no matter how much success you've achieved in this area around the platform or how many complex projects have been done outside. But at the same time, the great news is that every new completed project and every piece of fresh feedback in your work history makes searching for the next opportunities easier. So your main task is to take the first order at any cost, no matter the size of the project or the compensation you receive. In my case, it looked like a snowball. I got $15 on my first small project, then was paid $50 on something bigger. Finally, I got $500 for an interesting and fully fledged project. And all of that happened during the 1 or 2 weeks. I prepared some recommendations for you to consider in filter when searching for your first project. Number 1. Focus on small fixed price projects. These are much easier to take on compared to hourly-based projects. Number 2. Lower the price filter to the minimum. Consider tasks ranging from $5 to $15. If they require only a short amount of time, this is not about undercutting prices but investing your time in building your Upwork career. The main goal is to secure your first project, and with each subsequent one, you can gradually raise the price filters to your preferred range. Number 3. Filter out clients without prior project experience on Upwork using the payment verified and client history filters. Between you and the client, at least one of you should have previous work experience on Upwork. Number 4. Utilize geographic filters and emphasize in your proposals that you are a local freelancer who understands the client, communicates in the same language, and works in the same time zone. One more time, the most important thing at this stage is to perform the first project. I wish you good luck as you to take different orders on Upwork and receive new feedback in your work history. I advise gradually adjusting the basic setting of your filters. First of all, expand your geography. Collaborate with countries where you typically receive a higher payment for your services. Yes, it may be less convenient due to the time difference, but clients are usually willing to accommodate that. Next, try to consider projects from clients without prior experience on Upwork. This time, as an experienced freelancer, you can guide beginner clients and showcase your professionalism. Finally, remember to avoid using rigid price filters or completely refrain from using them. This doesn't mean you'll accept projects with lower rates or fixed prices. It does mean that clients will be more willing to negotiate and agree on your price, even if the initial project conditions suggest a lower amount. Once you set up basic filters to separate out all excessive things, you will find the number of projects which you are comfortable working on. This won't be tens of thousands of projects like in the beginning, without any filters, but rather tens or hundreds depending on your niche. To avoid wasting time and money, I recommend validating the projects and clients before writing your cover letters. Here are key points you should pay attention to in order to increase your chances of getting a response from the client. First of all, read the task description carefully. If you don't meet the requirements of the project or don't have well-presented portfolios with similar projects, you will appear inferior compared to those who meet the criteria or have similar projects. The client may also include a verification in the task description to ensure that you have actually read the project, or you might ask you to include a specific word at the beginning of your response. If the specialization mentioned in the project matches your own specialization. Upwork may take note of it and place you higher than others. The same applies to the skills mentioned in the project and those listed in your profile. The more matches, the better. Pay attention to the client's hire rate, which indicates how many of their projects resulted in hires. The higher their hire rate, the better. Take note of the client's average rate and how much they have paid for similar tasks in the past. If a client typically pays $15 per hour, it's unlikely they will pay your $35. Also pay special attention to reviews. All negative reviews are left for a reason. Let me explain this point in more detail. Freelancers usually inflate the client's rating. If the project as a whole went well and there is a likelihood of receiving more orders from this client, they will give the client a 5-star rating and leave a positive review. Therefore, when you see 1 or 2 stars and a negative review, it is not just a minor issue. It signifies a negative experience. If there are several such negative reviews, it is better to steer clear of that client. You may also find the client's name or the company's name in the reviews, which can help you write a more personalized proposals as well. Honestly, Upwork has a big basic filters in the job catalog. Yes, with expanded search and the opportunity to save different filters as separate search requests, you can simplify the search for new projects. But there are many cases such as competitive niches, cross-searching immediately in a few fields, or searching for projects by a few specialists at the same time. In this situation, searching with filter adjustment takes a lot of time or even does not cover the need in general. So in this section, I will tell you how to get information about new projects with RSS and create a genuine working dashboard that allows you to process a huge number of projects. Rich site summary or really simple authentication or RSS is a convenient XML format for serving the information that news sites and blogs provide for readers' notifications about new content on the website. I guess the definition perfectly fits on Upwork, where new projects constantly appear that freelancers should know about. Let's explore how you can set up your own RSS feed and how to work with them after doing so. Upwork allows not only to save a customized filter in the job catalog, but also to get an RSS field in which projects appear relevant to this filter. Let's see how you can switch RSS in your Upwork. To do this, let's come back to Upwork and continue with one of the job search filters we created before. Near that, you can see in wave icon in which is the RSS badge. Click on it and a drop-down menu with RSS and Atom appears. Atom is one more XML format, but this time let's choose RSS. After doing so, on your screen appears a lot of programming code. You might be confused about that. This code is and how it works with it. It's a typical reaction of users who first see RSS. Don't worry. Now I will explain to you how it works. First of all, you need to download a special program known as an RSS reader. It helps you to work with this code. As this format of showing the information has already existed for more than 25 years, there are a huge number of different RSS readers. It might be Google Chrome plugins, SaaS services, or desktop and mobile applications. In this course, I want to stop on these programs too much, but I want to give some examples of tools that I have tried. It was the InnoReader, the Upfeed.io tools, and the FeedBro plugin. They are good ones, but you can choose any other RSS readers you want to. In this lecture, let's try to work with the FeedBro plugin. For that, visit the Google Chrome menu, click on Extensions, and select Chrome Web Store. Once it's ready, in the Search tab, print FeedBro. Click on the appropriate search result. After these manipulations, you will see the detailed description of the plugin and the Add to Chrome button. Click on it in the dialog information window. Press Add extension one more time. Ready. The plugin is installed. To start the work, click on the extensions icon and choose the plugin among them. In the window that appears, select Open Feed Reader. Finally, the program appears. To input our Upwork data, let's come to the Upwork tab and copy its URL. After that, move on to our plugin, window again and choose Add a new feed. Enter the copied URL and add the feed title. For example, it might be graphic design. Click Save. Now, if everything is going well with your reader, you will see Upwork projects instead of XML code. In the next lectures, we will work with that in more detail. In this lecture, we will briefly cover the key pros and cons of working with the RSS feed. The first plus is that the feed has a more comfortable and factual interface. It's easy to see in the demonstration. Let's go back to the search results in the Upwork job catalog, as we did it in our previous lectures. As you can notice, although I choose the most compact view of my projects, we can see no more than 3 projects without scrolling down. If you move to the Freelancer dashboard to search with a saved filter, the situation is even worse. We are able to see only 1 project without sweeping. But if you go back to our RSS reader, there is another situation. We are able to see more than 10 projects without flipping down. You can change this view if needed. It only seems that it's easy to scroll down or change the page. But waiting while Upwork uploads the next 10, 15 or 50 might be really time-consuming if you are working on a huge number of projects. I guess it's better to spend these seconds, minutes and even hours on something more interesting. The second advantage is that you are able to set up additional filters. Despite what RSS reader you choose, you have the opportunity to apply additional filters to forms the RSS feeds. For example, it might be complex filters with conditional operators or and to search certain keywords in the project title or description, or filter projects from a client on certain countries. On Upwork, you can select all projects from a particular country, but it's not possible to filter out certain countries that you don't collaborate with for certain reasons. I had given examples of additional filters on Upwork before, but the opportunities of certain RSS readers for filtration of projects are really remarkable. What filters is able to define the language you need in the project text and show such projects separately. As I have already said, Upwork is publishing a huge number of projects every day. Having the opportunity to filter and highlight projects that are relevant personally to you is a competitive advantage you can use. And the last advantage is teamwork. This will be really important for you if you have your own agency and if you specialists search for projects, or if you collaborate with other freelancers to search for relevant projects together. For sure, you can try to divide different directions between different performers or working hours to avoid searching for projects at the same time. But in my personal experience, it doesn't work. Anyway, you will get situations where the same projects will be checked by different performers, which will expand the time spent on project search. But with RSS, you can have the projects hidden or marked as red. However, RSS has its own cons. You need to spend time with the tool to understand its features. Sometimes it also requires money because some RSS readers don't have free plans. By the way, there are many free solutions and they have intuitive interfaces, so this minus is not so crucial. After spending a bit of the time mastering the tool from the first days on, you save many times and nerves while searching for the projects. After spending some time on the filtration of the projects, you will surely find some projects relevant to your skills. But what to do next? It's time to apply for these projects. How can you do so? First of all, click on the projects you want to apply for. For instance, let's use the logo design project as a case. Make sure not to start writing your proposal if you don't know who your client is or how you can add value to the project. If there is information about the client in the project, conduct research on their business. Take a look at their website and other social media channels and understand their strengths, weaknesses, and target audience. Carefully explore the project information and brainstorm ideas on how you can contribute to their business growth while doing the project. Once you are ready, come back to your project and click Apply Now. After that, a new window will open. Above all else, you will see proposal settings, which show how many connects you spent to apply for. On a free plan, you typically get 60 connects per month from Upwork, so it's important to consider this number while you send your proposals. Below, you will see the details of the projects you plan to work on. This is a good chance to check all the information one more time. Now let's define terms. Consider whether you want to be paid for your project one time or by milestones. Below, write down how much you want to be paid for your job. Pay attention to the client budget range and make sure that Upwork asks for a $10 fee. For instance, let's write down $40 and I will get 36 from them. Now it's time to consider your cover letter. An Upwork cover letter is pretty much the same as a cover letter for any other job. This is a short, highly personalized letter to the project creator in which you, in 2 or 3 short paragraphs, explain who are you, what your expertise is, and what benefit you may bring to their business. We have prepared an example for you. Now I just spent a few seconds copying our proposal, but I want to encourage you to consider its content but not to use any other example as a ready-made template. Your uniqueness is one of the keys to success. Start your letter with a greeting or appeal to your client. Good day, hi, and other options are good. Then spend 1 paragraph defining the opportunity you apply for and your relevant experience in this area. It's important to say what the project is because a client might have a few similar projects on Upwork. Yes, this is one of the reasons why every cover letter should be unique. If there are some really familiar results from your previous showcases, like for example, that you have designed a logo for famous companies, or maybe some of the data changed after you did the logo for this business, etc. In the next paragraph, consider the benefit you can bring to their business if you are a performer. You can experiment and shuffle this part of the letter with the one where you write about your experience. And in the last paragraph, add examples of your relevant works or attach the link to your whole portfolio. Make sure to ask them to take a look at the link and explain what these links contain. Finally, prepare the closing part, input a call to action that clearly describes what the client should do next. Also, you can add thank you words and signatures. I have some advices for you about how to make this letter better yet. Number 1. Use anything that attracts the client's attention. Remember, your client will get many different proposals and not have time to check all of them. Number 2. Separate yourself from other freelancers and provide the arguments why the client should hire you. Number 3. Don't include unnecessary things and don't be too casual or overly professional. Number 4. Use different tools to check spelling and grammar. Quillbot, Grammarly, and Language Tool might help you. When you are ready, scroll down a bit and you will see the place for attachments. This is a great way to present your showcases if they are in image formats. But remember to name them in the right and understandable way for anyone who doesn't know you well. Check everything one more time, and if everything is fine, click Submit a proposal. My congratulations! Now you know how to join the projects. To find all your proposals, go to the Find Work section and move on to the Proposals module. There you can find all submitted proposals, active ones or those you led the discussion with, invitations to interview, and offers from your clients. Once you've sent a great proposal and landed an interview with the client, it's time to prepare for your interview so that you can win the project. Thank you for joining this lecture. See you in the next one. Communication is the key to any business relationship. Whether you work as an independent freelancer or as an agency, you will definitely communicate with the client before closing deals, while working on their project and afterwards. So in this video, I will share with you some tips that will be helpful during communication with prospects. The main rule of communication you need to understand is that you work with the same person who has their own emotions, deals, and problems. If you make your collaboration appear less bothersome among the other tasks, you will get a loyal client. Another insight to get is that the client is right while you don't convince him of the opposite. People often don't know how to do some things better, so they look for experts, so they look for you. If you see that something is doing wrong, try to explain how it should be and why. You both are interested in getting a comprehensive result. A good specialist is not about doing something blindly, but about bringing benefits to the business. Always be polite and respectful. Don't forget to thank and apologize if something happens. This is a key to good human communication. At the start of your dialogue, this is also a recommendation to ask for a preferred channel for future communication. It shows your openness to client comfort. I also recommend that you not hesitate to follow up with the people if there is no answer. 2 to 3 follow-ups will be enough because there is an Upwork anti-spam policy. Before closing deals, conduct regular communication with the client and do not leave him alone. Ask questions to better understand the work, answer theirs, and don't hesitate to clarify some messages. What do they think so? What does it mean? Why do they ask this question? What stops them from collaborating? Every person may have some objections about you or freelancers in general. Your task is to find them and get them out. Pay attention to their time zone and do not write to them at night. Once you are ready to move forward the offer, set clear expectations. Be straightforward about the next timelines and price. Clearly communicate your working hours, response times, and any potential delays well in advance. Setting clear expectations from the outset helps manage the client's expectations and avoids unnecessary misunderstandings. When you start working on a project, keep clients informed about the progress by providing regular updates. This can be in the form of written status reports, progress summaries, or scheduled check-in meetings. In the case of long-term projects, inform and agree on whether everything is okay when sending updates. Actively listen to the client's feedback and respond thoroughly. If you encounter challenges or unforeseen issues during the project, communicate them promptly to the client. Transparency fosters trust, and clients appreciate freelancers who are honest about obstacles and work collaboratively to find solutions. My video is over, but in the end, I want you to remind you about possible cultural difference between you and your clients. Research the information on how to better communicate with people from your target country to avoid confusion. If you want to understand cultural differences more, I recommend reading the Culture Map book by Erin Meyer. It helps you see directions that may vary from your own culture. See you at the next lesson. Thank you for joining my and Alexei Sergeyenko's Upwork course. We were happy to share our knowledge about how to build your profile and how to get your first clients on this course. Just remember that this course will be updated on a regular basis. We will help you to get knowledge about this stuff and how to operate on Upwork. Feel free to share your questions in Q&A session and leave your honest review on Udemy. We will try our best to make this course bigger and give you more details how you can be successful on Upwork. It was Anton Vornyuk and Alexei Sergeyenko. Thank you for joining us and see you in our next courses.